So it took almost 2 years, but Kim and Kanye West have settled their divorce. The former couple did have a prenup. Kim will keep her $60 million home in Hidden Hills, as well as the home Kanye bought next door. Kanye will keep his Malibu beach house, a pair of ranches in Wyoming, a home in Belgium, and his childhood home in Chicago. They have joint custody of their 4 kids, but Kanye will pay Kim $200,000 a month in child support and will be responsible for half their school and security costs. Erica, what do you think of their settlement?
Well, it looks like they're still both rich.
Yeah. For a while. I mean, $200,000 a month for child support plus their security, it's going to be about $250,000 a month. I mean, Kanye's no longer in the Billionaire Boys Club.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
But it's okay, Al. He wrote a song about this years ago, so he was prepared.
I hope so. I hope that was the same Kanye we're talking about today.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be petty if I got a divorce and I had this much money. But you're paying for the gutter cleaning, the landscaping, infestation, like all little things. So I'd sell her beer like, there was a mouse in the house. It's on you. Here's your bill. Like I'd be real
Trust
petty.
Me, your divorce lawyer would be very happy with that. It's like, yes, nitpick away, nitpick away. So
yeah,
I've been through it. It is unpleasant.
You have, I know, but you came out unscathed.
Yes, and my ex-wife was an angel, so that needs to be said.
Well, I also think you two cognizantly make sure, to Gwyneth Paltrow's conscious uncoupling definition, that you two make sure that you're very, they're your friends for the kids.
Right, we're business partners. We're in the business of raising these kids, and like we're friends and friendly, and I still have so much love and respect for her. We're just ain't married no more.
That's
so,
amazing. I hope more people can follow your suit.
Save money. Be friends.
All right, there's the real motivation. Okay, can you believe it's been almost 20 years since the movie Love Actually came out? Well, last night, Diane Sawyer spoke with some of the cast about making the film. The British film followed interwoven love stories of multiple characters. Now, at the time, it was a modest box office hit, but since it has become a global Christmas classic, the special aired footage of the first table read with the cast, like Laura Linney and Hugh Grant, and a relatively unknown Keira Knightley. Hugh also revealed he hated doing that iconic dance scene and that his timing was a bit off. Emma Thompson said after the screening, Hugh didn't know what to make of the film. Watch.
Hugh came up behind me as we were walking out and said, "Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the most psychotic thing we've ever been in?" I just thought, what's he talking about?
Did I say that? Well, it is a bit psychotic.
As much as the movie is loved, director and writer Richard Curtis said, looking back, the film's lack of diversity makes him feel uncomfortable and a bit stupid. There are also some romances between bosses and their employees that would be problematic today. And also, when I was looking at some of the comments underneath the initial interview, people were mentioning there was some fat jokes too, and fat shaming in the movie. What, Al? I'm just letting you know full context.
I know it's not coming from you, and I'm not killing the messenger, but it's just like, it's so disappointing that we feel this weird need to go back and dismantle everything that brought somebody joy at some point in their life. Like everything, look, everything up 10 years from now will age terribly, unless it's wine. So we need to understand that ahead of time. Yeah, exactly, some wine. So it's just like, I don't want people to fall into this loop where we have to go back and dissect everything that brought us joy. We could do that with our kids' candies. I'm sure that wasn't great for us, but I sure had a lot of milk duds in my life, and I'm fine. I don't want to go back and dismantle that, you know? Can I have some joy, Erica?
Okay, to your point, Al. I agree. I think that it's gone. It has gone. I understand that there is a reason for needing to make amends, make things current, make things equal, right? But when I saw this movie, that was also when my mom was in chemo. So like, we would watch that movie every round of chemo that she had, mainly because—
And talk about all the problematic things in there?
No, we did not.
No, you just enjoyed it with your mom?
No, yes, we enjoyed it. And also, because it is kind of a complicated movie. There's so much to follow along with. One, she would fall asleep, or I would fall asleep, because you'd be sitting there for a while, and then we would have to watch it again. And so we watched it so many times that we finally understood what was happening. So when this came up, I was like, oh, like my mom's been cancer-free for over a decade. Wow. And that's what I thought of when we started talking about it, not about, you know, everything that could be wrong with this movie.
This is totally random, but I was at a party one time, this was years ago in Hollywood, and I saw that kid and he was grown up, and I was like, I love that movie. I'm like, I'm gonna get a picture with that kid. I don't usually bother people, but it was like one of those parties, he was like right next to me, and then he's like, yeah, thank you. He was just real nice, and then he lit up, I shouldn't say this, but he lit up a cigarette, and I was like,
how old?
Don't you dare do that. You're the little kid from Love Actually.
How you gonna narc?
I mean, he's British. They smoke. Yeah, they like ciggies. I don't know.
You call Jeff a narc?
Yeah. I shouldn't. I mean, I don't. He's still little. I'll still take him. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of complicated legacies, Michael Jackson's hit album Thriller turned 40 today, if you can believe it. The album spent 37 weeks at the top of the U.S. music charts and is still the best-selling album of all time. Who could forget hits like Thriller with the groundbreaking video of a zombified MJ? There were other hits like Billie Jean, Pretty Young Thing, Wanna Be Startin' Something. Oh, I didn't even mean to. That's so weird when you read a title that you start singing it and beat it.
Way to pat yourself on the back. Yes.
I just didn't realize I'd start singing it. And but here's the thing, though. Does Michael's complicated past make it hard to celebrate his music, Al?
Yes, and I feel like this is going to be a complete retraction of what I just said. I do understand. I do understand that there will be some people that will just be like, R. Kelly's canceled to me. Michael Jackson is canceled to me. Because it's easy to do that when there are things that are not connected to you other than on a level that's strictly on the surface. But in a situation like Love Actually with you and your mom, or somebody was like, hey, the last time I saw my grandfather dance before he passed away was Step in the Name of Love with R. Kelly, how much more difficult it is to cancel that. No matter what you say or post, that song means something to you. So I do think it's very hard to kind of uncouple the artists from their actions. We saw this a lot with the Cosby situation.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because everyone just wants to go back and take something that someone did wrong, which some of them are very egregious, right?
Absolutely.
But you have those memories. As a kid, you have those memories. Kanye West, I grew up with those songs. Good Morning, like all those songs. But if someone hears you playing it, then all of a sudden you're an anti-Semite, and you're like, man, that's not what I meant by playing this song, right? So I think people in their own little groups do what they want. They'll listen to Michael Jackson, like, don't tell anybody. And I think that's why people are separating. Like, we're supposed to get together and bring conversation to the table. I'm like, I'm not doing that if someone's gonna come over and Michael Jackson's in my playlist and accuse me of being a pedophile. Like, that's where we're going. We just want to accuse and point fingers at everybody. It's like, just leave me alone, man. Just leave me alone, dude. Sorry, that was a little personal.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's the thing.
You know?
It is personal.
It's personal.
It's personal no matter how much people want to police what people should and should not be doing in their own homes. We're talking about playing music. We're not talking about contributing to some ring of whatever you want to call it. And the truth is, Michael Jackson will never be erased from my life, from my memories. It was such a fundamental part of my coming of age. And just like, exactly, much to what I said about Love Actually, like, that is not going to change anything about the idea of Thriller. The idea of Thriller goes deeper into what the actual... It's 40 years ago. I'm 41 years old. Why do I feel like I was there when that album actually dropped? Because it was so ingrained in my childhood. Those are things that just cannot be erased. If you need to redefine things, people do this in therapy all the time. You have memories of your childhood that are good and that are bad. And you have to find a way to make that work in order for you to grow and move ahead. If you need to do that with your memories about certain music or certain art or whatever, then that's what you have to do. But it is personal, and I'm not trying to get into anybody else's psyche to change how they feel about it.
Who didn't have that record, right? The actual record. I can remember being a kid and my parents' record and just having that Michael Jackson record.
And then what was the special that he played? Like, I think I was like 10 years old.
If you want to sing again, Sam, just do it.
I do not want to. But what was like that 1.5-hour movie he had? Do you remember?
Moonwalker.
Yes.
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 Can I get some props for remembering that?
Yes,
After you made fun of my story? Thank you.
Moonwalker.
Sorry.
But to Erica's point, though, if somebody does have a visceral reaction not to listen to it, if it's triggering for whatever reason.
It's easy not to listen to it.
Yeah, but I think it's okay. I just want everybody to be empowered in their own decision because I understand why some people would not be able to separate the artist from their actions. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is trying to right the wrongs of his past. He recently visited a 7-Eleven store in Hawaii where he grew up to buy up all the Snicker bars on the shelves. Watch.
When I was 14 years old, every day I used to stop here at this 7-Eleven and steal a king-size Snicker bar because I couldn't afford to buy one. That was my pre-workout food. I did that for almost a year every day. I had to come back and buy every Snickers bar on those shelves.
The Rock left the Snickers behind for anyone tempted to steal them and paid the bill for everyone in the store. Can you right the past, your wrongs of the past?
No.
You don't think so?
Oh, that same
Yes,
store
you
owner
can.
isn't there anymore. That guy, he just got ripped off for years, and now this guy working behind the counter gets paid. I don't know how I feel about it.
Morally, he tried to right that wrong. I think he can.
I guess.
I think
The Rock
right
is The Rock.
We're all going to hell.
Yeah.
Next story.
You can't attack The Rock. The Rock is a perfect human. But yeah, Erica, what do you think about this?
You can absolutely right some wrongs. You know, I borrowed money from an ex-boyfriend, and 10 years later, I paid him back.
Wow.
Did he know you borrowed it?
Yeah,
Okay.
You accusing me of stealing it? Well, I guess I technically did since I didn't.
We're doing a
No,
story
I
about
borrowed
stealing.
money. I promised I would pay it back. I didn't pay it back, and 10 years later, I paid it back.
Good for you.
Well, I had it then.
Is there any interest on that?
Well, it was interesting to receive money out of nowhere after 10 years.
Did you just mail it? Wait, this is interesting to me. I'm really proud of you. Did you mail it to him? Did you call him? Like,
I mailed it to him, but the thing is,
without any explanation, just here's that money I owed you.
yes, because I don't like owing people stuff.
Good for you, girl.
Like, I don't like it. It will hang over my head.
Glad you hit your
Exactly.
limit
I
a
just
decade
don't
later.
like it.